He predicted the Titanic 14 years before it happened. In 1898, an American writer published a story about a ship believed unsinkable. It crossed the North Atlantic in April. It hit an iceberg. There were not enough lifeboats, and the ship sank with thousands of people trapped in the freezing ocean. 14 years later, that exact disaster happened in real life. The ship was the Titanic, and the fictional ship was called the Titan. And the writer was Morgan Robertson. He was not a scientist, engineer, or prophet. He was a former sailor who had spent years working at sea, learning how real ships behaved in the ocean. That experience mattered more than people realize, because while most writers imagined fantasy, he understood real shipbuilding, real risks, and real human mistakes. And what he saw was uncomfortable. Ships were getting bigger, faster, and more advanced. But safety systems were not evolving at the same speed. In 1898, he wrote a novella called Futility, later retitled The Wreck of the Titan. In it, the Titan is described as one of the largest ships ever built, a symbol of human progress and confidence. It travels across the Atlantic at extreme speed. It carries only the minimum number of lifeboats allowed by outdated rules, and it is widely believed to be unsinkable. Then, in the story, it strikes an iceberg in April and sinks. 14 years later, in 1912, the RMS Titanic set sail on its maiden voyage. It was one of the most advanced ships ever constructed, a symbol of wealth, power, and modern engineering. It carried more than 2,000 passengers and crew. Unlike the Titan, it also carried too few lifeboats for everyone on board. It was repeatedly described as practically unsinkable, until it wasn't. On the night of April 14th, it struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic. Within hours, the ship was gone. Over 1,500 people died in the freezing water. Well, the similarities are difficult to ignore. Same type of ship, same ocean, same month, same outcome. Even the names feel almost connected. Titan, Titanic, Enza. But Morgan Robertson never claimed to predict the future. He didn't see visions or warnings from another time. He simply understood something others ignored. He saw the direction shipbuilding was heading. He saw confidence rising faster than safety. And he imagined the worst-case scenario if that continued. And years later, that scenario became real. So the real question isn't whether he predicted the Titanic. It's whether he just noticed the warning signs before anyone else was willing to see them. Because sometimes history doesn't need prophets. It only needs someone paying attention before it's too late.